So this was something that I did want to talk about, and it was in regards of the Fresh and Fit podcast. If you don't know who these two people are, they consider themselves as alpha males and talk a lot about women being bad and such. They're basically the epitome if Andrew Tate were two people and relied on the same brain cell to talk and speak their opinions. You'd be wanting the sweet release of death to not listen to the podcast anymore and want them to be deplatformed of all socials, regardless of what social media you use. You just don't want to see them again. Even if you have over a million followers or supporters, I should say, from either YouTube channel or your Twitter account or Kick or Twitch, Instagram, either one, it still doesn't mean anything, all amounted to nothing of the situation I'm going to be talking about. A couple of weeks ago, one of the members of the Fresh and Fit podcast was in an affair with another woman in regards of that woman that he has been sleeping with, quote unquote, has gotten pregnant. And the text messages, I wouldn't say that they're leaked, but they were posted on the Instagram story of the woman that Fresh has slept with. And the responses that he gave to that woman are so unhinged that I would even consider him a man or even human. These are going to be the text messages that I will be reading over. Always told me you wanted to be your baby's mother. I loved you and I did everything to be a good girlfriend. Now this is happening. You walked away. I think I want to keep the baby. I don't want to kill alive. I want you to think carefully and take the responsibility. I'll call you shortly. Take your time. I can't have kids. Take responsibility for your actions. What's this? Read it. Blood test, pregnancy blood test. I know, but what does it mean? I don't understand the numbers. And it says pregnant on the green highlight. 3 to 4 weeks, doctor says. Oh, okay. It's our baby, and you want to kill our baby? You are not being a good human. It's not about that right now. It's not good, and a lot is happening, especially now business may be over. I don't want kids right now, and we spoke about it, and you agreed. I never agreed. I agreed based on your actions. Are you not educated? If you keep reproductive fluid, let's say that, on me, I will get pregnant. I don't get pregnant without your behalf. If I guess that's what it's trying to say. Words mean nothing. Man up. I'm not saying I want to be with you. I don't, because you are nothing to me, but the baby is innocent. My audio cut off over there, but you get what it's trying to say, all right? This guy is playing the dumb card, okay? He's saying, oh, I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. Dog, if you could read the text messages, you would understand or get an idea of what's going on. Clearly, this woman is a victim, all right? And clearly, this guy doesn't want to take responsibility. And the only thing that he cares is his business and not the baby. And since it's her decision not wanting to kill the baby, not everything can go your way. All right. How hard is it to take responsibility, take accountability? And even though in his podcast, he says that here are the things you should do to be a man, he's not being a man and not wanted to be the father of this baby. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. And I don't think that you should even make or continue this podcast. You should have a kid with someone you are with in love in the same household. It won't be what you expect. Man up. I'm telling you now so you know. I don't expect anything anymore since we are not together. I got pregnant with you when I was in your house and when I was in love. You wanted to have the baby. If you didn't, you shouldn't put the reproductive fluid with your own pleasure. Be logic and be a man. I don't get pregnant by myself. It's not fair for the baby. What are you saying? We are not together and why and won't be. Why would that be good for a kid? I'm trying to read these sentences as best as I can. It's just that the English is not really good. And why didn't you put the reproductive fluid in me? Also, things happens and yes, feelings change, but bringing a kid into this world without both parents, love is cruel. We both thought you want to get pregnant. What the hell are you talking about? And then he got the nerve to say that it was a joke. How can you say that with your chest? No bars being held, no chains being guarded up, nothing to stutter with, and just say that it was a joke. What joke is there to laugh at? There's nothing funny about this. You clearly made this woman a victim. And now you don't want to take care of the baby. You're just saying this all for a joke. I don't get it. I would never understand the logic or the mentality that this guy has, regardless of how much of a nuisance this person is. And even if he was like a coach of dating advice, I'd rather be single. All I'm saying is you should take the responsibility for what you did. I am a victim, just like what I said, in this relationship, and I'm carrying your babe. You act like you don't care and you don't want nothing. Also, now I'm worried I have to test other girls, at least 4. So this guy has slept with 4 other women. And then she says, another girl, 4 girls. You are saying you have sex with 4 girls without protection? I hope you have all the money for your child, for the children's support. If I admit you are a effing piece of trash. I don't have money. Good luck. Lol. You will see. This unhinged bastard, okay, just said lol after saying that he's worried for the other 4 women that he slept with. You know what type of energy this gives off of? Being a douche, of course. All right. Like, this is something that Andrew Tate would say if he was as equally as unhinged as being, like, I don't know, a serial killer. But I mean, we all understand what's going on here. We all can get an idea of why this is so inexplicably immature for this guy to say. Even if he was like praised by a large majority of people, like the supporters of the Fresh and Fit podcast aren't there to support them and see the next podcast. No, they're there just to clown on you. They're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. So before I read, I'm assuming that the red emojis are key points to the story. My name is Daisy. This is a story between me and Walker, the podcaster knowing as Fresh IG and YouTube Fresh Prince CEO. Wow. I met him on November 21 in Miami and I fall in love with him. We spent New Year's together and that's the time when he asked me to be his girl, to commit to him, and he posted a video of us on social media. He said to me, quote, "I love you. I don't want you to be with other men." A few days later, he asked me to meet his mom. Everything went well. I showed him and his mom my respect. He defended me on his podcast from the rumors. That's the moment I truly fell in love with him. But this is where the game began. I left Miami on January 8th, traveled back to China for Chinese New Year. The night before we had a serious conversation, he said he sees me like someone to spend the whole life with. And I told him I was going to move to Miami for him. From then, we started a long-distance relationship for 2 months until I traveled to Barbados. I met his entire family there. I couldn't read the rest because the username is blocking it. It was so real that he is serious with me. Therefore, I'm not on birth control, and we had sexual behavior without protection. I was ready to have a baby with him and build a family. He asked me many times, quote, "What if you get pregnant?" My answer towards him was always, quote, "Yes, I want to keep the baby. I don't mind having a baby with you." The text says, "Oh my god, our kids are gonna look like them. They are so cute. Lol, I knew you were typing me this, Blasian." And March 12th, we traveled back to Miami together. At first, everything was fine. I stayed in his apartment. We had mutual understanding. He is not a monogamous person, that me and him both needs our own space. So I suggested him to help me rent an apartment. He said, quote, "I want you to have the things you want as you understand me." 10 days later, a morning after we had lunch with his sister, he broke his promises that how he told me he loves me and wants to see it in a long term. He wants to plan a future with me instead of renting an apartment, better buy a new house, which I think he is completely lying and making excuses about it. He used me, hurted me. He was a cheater, a huge gamer. I only found out this later and started to take his haters' words. When people told me negative things about him in the beginning, I always stood by his side and supported him and believed in him. I choose to believe in my partner instead of audience. The truth is, he pretended to be a huge value man to date girls and then ditch them. The reason why I'm exposing this is because as a woman, I want to stand out for other women. I don't want other girls ended up like me. I am in a strange country all alone. If I don't expose this, he will continue doing that to other naive girls. There will be more women get hurt. After a few days, he asked me to move out. He stopped coming home, disappeared for 3 nights without explanation. I called him, he never answered when I did nothing wrong. When I was so genuine, I left my work behind in China to pursue this relationship. So I moved out, booked the first flight to New York City on March 30th. I had a pregnancy test, it's positive. Here's what happened. And those are the texts that I just read previously above the text that are now shown in this picture. He said on the phone, there's no reason to meet and discuss further. He refused to have an adult conversation in person. He asked to take the pills and deal with it alone. He doesn't even want to show up and be a real man to take the responsibility under his behalf. Now I'm warning all girls, stay away from this man. He is dishonest and a liar. Now I ask you, please stand by me and help me to expose him in order to protect more women. I've suffered many days before I decided to tell everyone what happened. I need to help other girls to know his true color, and ladies, please protect yourself. I feel like we can all collectively agree that we are very upset of how Fresh treated this woman as if it were like a peace prize, as if it were a toy, basically. And it doesn't make sense to me that this is a person that will say that he adores her, that he wants to spend the whole life with her, make a future. Okay, told him many times that she wants to have the baby, and now is running away from his responsibility. This is a crime. I feel like I may not be a person that knows a lot of law. I may not be a police officer, a lawyer, the judge, or the jury. This isn't something to run away from, all right? I feel like you should need to take responsibility. If anything, if you will still run away from this, you about to be behind bars. You about to be mocked on, not just online, but also from your family, from the haters, from anybody that they know you, whether they do or they don't. This is going to leave a permanent mark to Fresh and Fit. Like Marlon, who is Fit, of course, the name Fit for Fresh and Fit. Regardless of how many times he tries to defend this guy, it's not going to look better. It's just going to be worse. Your gravestone is already there. You might as well put your body in it. Nobody cares about your money. Good. Also, I know that you don't want to raise a kid by yourself. You need a man that's going to be there with you. We aren't even together. Forget the money part. I want to keep the baby. I will raise it by myself, but you'll have to take the responsibility. I don't need a man, especially I don't need a man like you. Why are you want a baby with someone like me? Makes no sense, but okay, because I'm not a killer. And when I was with you, I loved you. Because I only realized now I was with a wrong person and you lied to me. Does this make sense? I thought you were smart. Say less. I didn't lie to you. It's not about being a killer. It's about doing what's best for us and also a child. It would be very selfish to bring a kid into this world without fully committing parents. Neither of us are ready to deal with something like this. It's selfish to make me pregnant and left me and lied to me. I'm not selfish, you are. You should worry about the other girls you effed with now. Learn from your lesson, and I learned mine from you. Babe, I was with him in December. Make an SDT test ASAP, or STD, not SDT, but you get what it's trying to say. I did it when I was with him. He only admitted today he had sex with another woman without protection. We didn't use protected, and he came in. Wow, I've been tested and I'm clean. Are you okay, love? I'm so sorry he did this to you. I didn't know about you. I was staying with him mid-December. Do I need to elaborate further that he is in big trouble? There's no way to come back to this, all right? Like, you have been sleeping with other girls and you're worried about one of them being pregnant. You already got one of them that you need to worry about being pregnant. You got to worry about the other 4. He has slept with 5 women and doesn't know how to respond if one of them is pregnant. Like, dude, you know how much of a cuck you are? Like, even Andrew Tate will look at this and say, oh yeah, that's a man right there. No, that is not a man. That is a clown. Hell, even a buffoon, I should say. In the terms of Moist Critical, this guy is a buffoon. I can proudly say that. This was a tweet that I found saying Walker, aka Fresh, co-host of the Fresh and Fit podcast, went 50-50 with her on a Von Cleave. She just sent me the receipt. Now they're running a smear campaign because she exposed him. And this is what the receipt looks like. He spent a total of $29,730 on jewelry for this woman, and now he's leaving him with the signature, might I add. And of course, we got Sneeko stepping in saying, talk all that crap you want, but Fresh and Fit has single-handedly saved most Western men's lives than any other podcast ever, quote unquote. You don't need to be here, all right? This does not involve with you. If you're really trying to get some smoke with the Fresh and Fit podcast, if anything, you're the last person I would expect to defend these people. Actually, I feel like it's predictable that Sneeko would say this, all right? Your girlfriend is a victim, mind you. You are not a man, and you will never be an inspiration towards other young men. If anything, you should be the last person to trust when it comes to trying to find any motivation to be better than themselves from their past. So now that we're done with that, I want to talk about Marlon, aka Fit, because that's his nickname for the Fresh and Fit podcast. In the podcast, when he brought a literal family attorney that goes by the name of James Sexton, ironic. He's trying his absolute best to defend Fresh, okay? If you watch the podcast, like not even like 10, maybe 30 minutes in, you will see that Fresh is worried. Fresh is upset. He is emotionally scarred for making the worst decision of his life, for being the Sigma male, for the male audience. This is public enemy number 1 that you should avoid, okay, for any advice. This tweet made by Misha saying, breaking, alleged alpha male, Fresh and Amp Fit goes on an unhinged rant on the verge of tears after being exposed for being broke and getting demonetized. Yo, my boy about to cry. Then Myron makes a response to this saying, people say my rant was emotional. No, it was passionate, and real ones recognize other real ones in the social media world where people will sell you out for views and clout. That integrity comes from a good 2-parent household, discipline in fitness, and my law enforcement background. I'm not, quote unquote, a typical influencer and proud of it. It's ironic that you're saying this for being a Sigma, for being a Chad. You're not. Okay, like the way that you treat women as if they're like Nazis. Okay, dude, we all know that you're on the verge of tears. Okay, we all know that you're on the verge of crying because you were exposed to being broken, demonetized, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy that you got demonetized. You're getting the karma that you deserved. Okay, same thing goes for Fresh. Like this guy is more worried than you trying to say, oh, there's nothing bad about it. It's just a little whoopsie daisy. Did you know that these people false flagged other commentary YouTubers when they were talking about them for basically talking shit about other women? They will have the male audacity to the mindset of these two people to say this publicly and not expect any trouble for doing so. All right. Now, keep in mind, I have been waiting for the downfall of these two people. I mean, it might have been like 2 or 3 years ago when they were exposed to false flagging other people. Okay. Now that other people are talking about this, they really can't do nothing. Okay. They're going to say, oh, we're going to let the haters hate. It's all about the clout and the views and we're victims. No, you have been a victim of stupidity and you've been a victim of your ego taking over. That's the best way to describe how much of a buffoon you are, in the words of Most Critical. I know that some of the words I'm saying is all over the place, but the best way to describe of how I feel about this, I'm happy that Fresh and Fit's downfall is happening. I'm happy that the women are celebrating for the Fresh and Fit's downfall. If anything, I feel like this is a party to celebrate, okay? Grab your Snickers, grab your Sprite bottles, because we about to party till tomorrow. Hell, we might as well watch Spider-Man 2002 on top of that. Okay, that's a joke, but still. I do hope that the woman that she had a bombshell, if that makes sense, with Fresh gets to recover and unfortunately has to take care of the baby by herself. But I do hope that she's living her best life, and I do hope that she gets to move on from this and to not trust men that are just like Fresh. These people are trying their best to gaslight their fans when really we all know it, okay? The haters are right and the fans are wrong. You know that there was another podcast duo named Aba and Preach that interrogated these two people about the affair and made this woman a victim about this. And they said, show us the proof. Like, dude, you're guilty. Okay, even if you have a family attorney on a podcast, it doesn't make you right. It's just making you more guilty and more of a victim of your stupidity and letting your ego take over, when really taking accountability and taking responsibility is the best action you can do, since you're so much of a man to do so. So you're so much of a Sigma male to walk away from this. I feel like I said everything I have to say for this video. I currently have 22 minutes and 16 seconds of audio that I have to edit and upload. And I'm glad that I made this video for the sake of letting these women voices heard. I'm happy for the downfall, okay? This is a really good day. With all that being said, that's all I gotta say for this video. Let me know in the comments of what you think. This is Wolf.Gray, and I'll see you all later. See ya.